Okay, so let's start today class. Today we are going to discuss single phase full wave bridge type symmetrical semi controlled rectifier. Okay, symmetrical semi controlled rectifier, or you maybe say that half wave controlled rectifier, half controlled rectifier. Okay, so what is the difference between the full control rectifier and half control rectifier? That means in place of 4 SCR required for the full control rectifier, here we required 2 SCR and 2 diode instead of 4 diode. Okay, and all the circuit configuration are same as the fully controlled rectifier. Okay, so half control means 2 diode used instead of 4 diode and 2 SCR. Okay, so just we try to see the circuit diagram for the single phase full wave bridge type half control rectifier for the either load may be different, either resistive load or RL load, whatever you maybe want to discuss. So according to that, your load will be changed. Okay, so main circuit consists of the AC voltage supply source and 2 SCR and 2 diode. Okay, so let's first of all share the screen and we will discuss our continue our discussion. So just wait. Yeah, oh, fine. So rectifier, that means this one is not. Okay, not this one. Let's try to close this one and just see the circuit diagram for the single phase half wave semi controlled rectifier from the simulation lab. Okay. Yeah. So simulation of single phase full wave semi controlled rectifier with the resistive load, or maybe say that half control rectifier. Okay, either you maybe say that semi or half. That means the basic difference is the full control rectifier and semi control rectifier is 2 SCR and 2 diode are used instead of 4 SCR used in fully controlled rectifier. Okay, so this is the connection for the circuit diagram of symmetrical type. Okay, if you consider asymmetrical types, okay, if you consider asymmetrical types, then this thyristor you may be placed here and this diode may be placed here. Okay, that is known as asymmetrical. But this one is circuit for the symmetrical one. And again, same things. That means SCR1, SCR2 numbering, and diode 2 and diode 1. And this is your AC supply voltage source. So the supply current flow through this one. And here is the load. Okay. Either you may consider resistive load or maybe RL load or maybe different type of load. Okay. So we just going to discuss about the resistive load right now. Okay. So what is the operating principle? How they can operate this rectifier, control rectifier? So just the mode of operation we can classify it in two types. Okay, one in mode 1, that means positive half cycle, and in mode 2 the negative half cycle. Okay, as we know that when the SCR in forward bias, and if you not supply the gate pulse to the SCR, then your SCR will not conduct. Okay, but diode will conduct if diode in forward bias. Okay, so for the conduction of SCR, that means both are necessary. That means forward bias as well as gate pulse provide to the thyristor. Okay, but in diode only the if you diode in forward bias, then it will start to conduction. Okay, so in the positive half cycle, if you consider that positive half cycle, so which one are in forward bias? Can you identify which device is in forward bias? Okay, so for the positive half cycle, that means mode 1. So suppose that the supply positive terminal connected to the anode of the SCR. Okay, and negative terminal is connected to the cathode of the diode 2. Okay, either your positive polarity of the supply is connected to anode and negative polarity of the supply is connected to the cathode terminal of the either SCR or diode, that will be in forward bias. Okay, so in the mode 1, that means when the positive half cycle, so here SCR1 and SCR diode 2 are in forward bias. Okay, so what is the path of the current flow through the load? So you will find out from this circuit, this one and this one are in forward bias. If you gate pulse provide to this SCR, then current flowing through the path of this one from the positive terminal to the SCR1 and go to the load. Okay, and again come back through the diode D2 to negative polarity of the supply. So this is the mode 1 operation of the half control rectifier. Okay, so their operation may be considered here. That means one more circuit drawn here for the different load, that means RL load. Okay, so thyristor 1, thyristor 2 and D1 and D2 mentioned whatever you maybe represent a diode position. According to that you conduct. That means this one and this one in this circuit are in forward bias when the positive half cycle, and in the negative half cycle this is SCR and this diode is in forward bias. Okay, so you maybe consider resistive load or RL load. So their operation just we describe here, that then we will discuss this waveform of the output. First of all, we just try to explain the operation of the half control rectifier. Okay, so mode 1 during the positive half cycle, that means thyristor 1 and diode 2 are in forward bias. So what is the current flow in the circuit? So the current flow starts from the positive terminal of supply voltage, thyristor 1, load and diode 2 to negative terminal of the supply voltage. Okay, in the mode 1. When you gate pulse provide to the thyristor 1 at a particular angle delay, that is known as the delay angle, so at that instant thyristor will start to conduction. Okay, in the mode 2 during the negative half cycle, that means SCR2 and diode 1 are in forward bias. So maybe right here then thyristor 2 and diode 1 are in forward bias. For figure 1, you maybe say that in figure 1 or figure 2 biased of figure 1, because in the figure 2 the position of D1 and D2 are interchanged. Okay, so do not confuse according to their position. Okay, biased of figure 2. Okay, figure 2. Okay, and the current flow from the thyristor 2 load and the diode 1. Okay, so this is the path for this negative half cycle. So the thyristor 1 and 2 are in thyristor 2 commutated by the force when the negative supply voltage appears across this SCR. Okay, so this one is becomes negative and this one is positive. So this one and this one becomes the reverse bias. Okay, and when this becomes actually positive, that means since the polarity change for first half, that first half cycle, that means 0 to pi, this one is positive, this one is negative, and the next one is what? This one is positive and this one is negative. Okay, negative pi to 2 pi. So this SCR becomes in the forward bias and this diode will becomes in forward bias. So when you provide the gate pulse to thyristor 2, you will start the conduction of thyristor 2 and current flow from this path, that means SCR2 to load and through the diode 1. So complete the path of the current. So you are able to identify the flow of path in the circuit, flow of current in the circuit, is it not? So it is very simple. You just kept two things in mind. When diode can conduct only in forward bias, but SCR cannot conduct only in forward bias, you have to supply gate pulse. Okay, otherwise SCR will not conduct. So you kept in your mind, and then we see the waveform of the sinusoidal supply voltage. So just try to see here. As we know that the sinusoidal AC supply voltage waveform is just similar to this one. Okay, this is your sinusoidal AC supply voltage. So this one is your voltage of VAB, and this dotted line is voltage of the VBA. That means negative of the previous one. Okay, negative of this one VAB. So, and this is your VBA. Where is the A and B terminals? You maybe represent here terminal A and terminal B. Okay, so A is positive with respect to B. In the positive half cycle, that means 0 to pi. And in the next negative half cycle, that means pi to 2 pi, this one becomes positive and this one is negative. Okay, that means the reverse one. So you may be observed from this one, this waveform. Okay, so VAB 0 to pi is your positive, and VVA, that means this dotted line becomes the positive during the negative half of the this one VAB. That means the reverse of the VAB. Okay, so this is represented as the VBA voltage waveform. Okay, here we can one more thing show that the gate pulse of the SCR1 and SCR2. Here when you fire the SCR or provide the gate pulse. Okay, so suppose that at this instant where the green mark is shown to you, that means up to this point you fire the gate pulse. So you maybe show here gate pulse at this point, and just pulse represented here, that means for SCR1, and here you maybe represent the gate pulse for the SCR2. Okay, so when SCR provide gates pulse provided to the SCR, that means the SCR conduct from this point, not to a starting point, that means 0. Okay, even if the SCR1 in forward bias from this point 0 C, but start the conduction from when you fire the gate pulse. Okay, so conduction start by the SCR1 at this instant, that means delay angle alpha, and similarly at the angle of phi plus alpha, this one is your pi, and this instant is delay by alpha. So this one is your pi plus alpha. Okay, so this instant is your pi plus alpha. So at the pi plus alpha, again you fire the gate pulse of the SCR2. So SCR thyristor 2 will start conduction from this point. Okay, so you maybe just cut out this waveform from this instant to this instant up to pi. Okay, and just put here place in the below figure. So load voltage or output voltage, that means up to 0 to alpha, this one is 0 because we do not provide the gate pulse to the thyristor. So thyristor will not start to conduction up to delay angle. When you fire the thyristor at this instant, that means whatever you may represent that point or delay angle, that means alpha. So from this instant, SCR will start to conduct, and the waveform just similar to the supply voltage up to this point pi. Okay, so the output voltage is similar to this one up to pi. What will be happen again here? That means pi. That means I start the negative polarity, reverse the voltage of the SCR1 and diode 2. So even the conduction do not start because we do not fire the SCR2. Okay, at pi the voltage will reverse. So SCR2 and diode 1 are in forward bias, but they do not start to conduction, basically the SCR, because we do not provide the gate pulse at this instant. We provide the gate pulse at pi plus alpha, that means delay of alpha. Okay, if you provide alpha delay of alpha gate pulse, so this one provide next one is your pi plus alpha. So from pi to 2 pi, we again got the 0 output voltage. Okay, and from this instant again you got the same output voltage of the supply voltage waveform. Okay, so this waveform up to from this instant to this instant. Okay, this is your supply voltage waveform. So this is the complete output voltage waveform. And for the resistive load, the same waveform followed by the output current. Okay, same current followed by the output current. That means up to alpha, the output current is becomes because the voltage is zero. Is it not? Voltage is zero, so output current is also zero at this point. When we got the output voltage, so start the output current flowing through the load up to this point. That means pi. Okay. Again, pi to pi plus alpha, we have zero voltage. So again, current becomes zero from pi to pi plus alpha. Okay. Again, at pi plus alpha, when you fire the SCR 2, that means provide the gate pulse to the SCR 2, then again we got the output voltage at this instant, that means pi plus alpha to 2 pi. So similar the supply voltage. Okay, so again the output current is similar to the supply voltage, sorry, output voltage waveform from pi plus alpha to 2 pi. Okay, so this is the average output current waveform. Since it is a resistive load, so similar to the waveform follow the average output load voltage. Okay, so just we now it is already familiar with the various type of other controller. Okay, so now we just try to find out the parameters of this half control rectifier. That means average output voltage, RMS voltage, average output current, RMS output current, form factor, ripple factor. Okay, so just we try to find out all the parameters of this controller. Okay, control rectifier. So first of all, what is the average output voltage? So average output voltage represented by V0 is equal to how much? 1 by time period, 0 to time period, Vt dt. That means in place of Vt, we have here Vm sin omega t as the reference voltage. Okay. So just to write the equation for the average output voltage. That means V0 equal to 1 by time period, 0 to time period, Vt dt. Okay. So what is the time period for this wave output waveform? Time period is your 1 by pi. Okay. Sorry, pi. So you can write here 1 by pi, 1 by pi integration of zero to alpha. We got the zero output voltage 0. So just started output voltage from alpha. Okay, alpha to where? Alpha to pi. Since pi to 2 pi plus alpha is again 0. So limit is your alpha to pi. Directly I have written here. That means pi. So Vm sin omega t d omega t. Vm sin omega t d omega t. So just integrate this Vm sin omega t. Since Vm is your constant, so we can take the outside of the integration. So we can write here just Vm by pi, is it not? Vm by pi integration of Vm by pi integration of sin omega t d omega t, limit is your from alpha to pi. Okay, so Vm by pi integration of alpha to pi, alpha to pi sin omega t d omega t, sin omega t d omega t d omega t. So just we can write the integration value for this sine. What is the sine integration? Is your minus cos omega t. So put here the limit of minus cos omega t alpha to pi. Okay. So v0 equal to Vm by pi Vm by pi minus cos omega t minus cos omega t alpha to pi cos omega t alpha to pi. So lower limit is your alpha and upper limit is your pi. So just put the value of lower and upper limit, then you will get the value of average output voltage. Okay, average output voltage, that means here is your pi. Okay, so v0 equal to Vm by pi, and you put the lower and upper limit. Okay, so Vm by pi, that means minus cos pi, that means minus minus plus 1. Cos pi is minus 1, so already minus, that means plus 1. Okay, so is your, if you put omega t equal to pi, that means cos pi equal to minus 1, so this one becomes plus 1, and minus of minus cos omega, cos alpha, that means plus cos alpha. Okay, so here we can write the value of 1 plus cos alpha, is it not? 1 plus cos alpha. Cos alpha. Okay. So for the full wave is your, what was the average output voltage? For the full control, 2 Vm by pi. So if you put here alpha equal to 1, then again 2 Vm by pi. Okay. 2 Vm by pi. For the uncontrolled rectifier, if alpha equal to put 0, then it will becomes 2 Vm by pi. Okay. So next, if you, what is the average output current? So average output current is your E0 by R. So just find out average output current. Output current That means I0 equal to V0 by R. So I0 equal to V0 by R. That means Vm into 1 plus cos alpha by pi R. Okay. Your average output current. So Vm by pi into R into 1 plus cos alpha. Sorry. So put here the value of average output voltage. You already find out Vm into 1 plus cos alpha by pi. So it will becomes Vm into 1 plus cos alpha. Okay. Vm into 1 plus cos alpha 1 plus cos alpha divided by pi r. Okay. So divided by pi r. Okay. What is the RMS output voltage? How we can find out the RMS output voltage? Just a square root of this one, Vm square sin square omega t. Okay. So RMS output voltage, RMS output voltage that means V output RMS equal to V output RMS V output RMS V0R represent the V RMS value output of RMS voltage equal to 1 by pi integration of from alpha to pi integration from alpha to pi Vm square sin square omega t d omega t. So Vm square sin square omega t sin square omega t d omega t sin square omega t d omega t. Okay. Whole to the power 1 by 2. Whole to the power 1 by 2. So just put here 1 by 2. Okay. So next we put here, since sin square omega t cannot directly integrate, so just put in cosine or term, that means 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2 Okay, so we can take the Vm square by pi here. So just we can write here V output RMS equal to V output RMS equal to Vm square by pi. Vm square can take the outside of the integration. Okay, so Vm square by pi, Vm square by pi integration of alpha to pi integration of alpha to pi what we can write for the sine square omega t in terms of cosine terms 1 minus cos 2 omega t, so divided by 2, 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2 d omega t okay, whole to the power 1 by 2, whole to the power 1 by 2. So just integrate this one and simplify, then you will get the value of the output RMS value. Okay. So how you can simplify this one? How we can simplify this one? Okay. If you take 2 this side, so first integration is your alpha to pi d omega t, that means omega t integration. So when you put the value of alpha to pi, upper lower and upper limit value, this one becomes pi minus alpha. So just to write down one by one, so it will be not confusion if you write a stepwise. Okay, so just write V output RMS value equal to, if you take outside this one, so the square term is cancelled because it is whole square 2. So Vm, and this one if you take outside 2, so we can write here Vm by root 2. So just write Vm by root 2 into first integration is your, what it becomes 1 by pi. Okay, so d omega t, so pi minus alpha, so pi minus alpha divided by pi, right here. First term is your pi minus alpha divided by pi. Okay, so first term is your pi minus alpha divided by pi. Okay, pi. What is the integration of second one? Cos 2 omega t is your sine 2 omega t divided by 2. Okay, so sine 2 omega t divided by 2. When you put the upper and lower limit, okay, so first term is your here minus sine 2 omega t divided by 2. So sine 2 omega t divided by 2. So lower limit is your alpha and upper limit is your pi. Okay, so alpha to pi means alpha to pi. Okay, and you put this value, that means sine term is your 0 minus sine 2 alpha minus sine 2 alpha. So this one we can put here directly minus sine 2 alpha, no? Minus sine 2 alpha whole to the power 1 by 2. Okay, whole to the power 1 by 2. So 1 by 2. Okay, so you can directly write here V output RMS is equal to Vm by root 2 Vm by root 2 into pi minus alpha divided by pi minus alpha divided by pi. So this one will minus plus sine 2 alpha divided by 2. So plus sine 2 alpha divided by 2. Sine 2 alpha divided by 2 whole to the power 1 by 2 whole to the power 1 by 2. Okay, So this is your RMS output voltage. Then you may find out the RMS output current. That means RMS output current, RMS output current is equal to I output RMS equal to V output RMS divided by R. So V output RMS divided by R. So you put here the value of V output RMS. So that is equal to the Vm by root 2 into pi minus alpha divided by pi by pi. Okay. So similarly, you can maybe find out the another factor parameters, that means form factor. So form factor is equal to V output RMS divided by average output voltage. Okay. So form factor you may find out from this relation. Form factor equal to V output RMS divided by average output voltage. Okay. So V output RMS divided by V output average. Okay. So V output average V0. Okay. So if you put that VRMS value and V average output voltage, then that will be equal to the form factor. Okay. Other parameter you may also find out, that means ripple factor. So just we stop here, and the next class we will discuss another things. Okay.